Welcome, weary traveler, to a journey not through space, but through time. Close your eyes, let your breath deepen, and imagine the quiet hum of existence, stretching back, further than memory can reach. We will drift together through the ages, watching the slow, gentle unfolding of humanity, like clouds passing across an endless sky. Our story begins not with a roar, but with a whisper. A whisper in the ancient forests and sun-drenched savannas, millions of years ago. Imagine a world untouched by human hands, filled with the rustle of leaves, the distant calls of creatures, and the soft, warm breath of the earth itself. Here, in the quiet cradles of early life, our ancestors stirred. They were not yet human as we know them, but their eyes held the first glimmer of curiosity, their hands the first stirrings of ingenuity. Picture them, small and upright, moving through tall grasses under a vast, indifferent sun. Their days were simple, guided by the rhythms of light and shadow, hunger and rest. They learned to grasp, to climb, to find shelter in the hollows of trees or beneath rocky overhangs. Each sunrise brought a new lesson, each sunset a deeper understanding of the world around them. The air was clean, the stars a brilliant tapestry above, and the only sounds were those of the wild, a lullaby of nature. Centuries slipped by like grains of sand through an hourglass. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, changes began. A stone, once just a stone, became a tool. A sharp edge, a hammer, a scraper. These were not sudden inventions, but gradual discoveries, born of patience and necessity. Imagine the quiet concentration, the repetitive tap-tap-tapping as a rough rock was shaped into something useful. This was the dawn of creation, a gentle spark in the vast darkness of time. With tools came new ways of living. Our ancestors moved across the land, following the herds, gathering the bounty of the earth. Their lives were nomadic, a continuous journey under open skies. Each night, they would gather around flickering fires, the flames dancing softly, casting long, shifting shadows. The crackle of the fire, the warmth on their skin, the shared silence of the group, these were the first comforts, the first bonds of community. Listen closely, and you might almost hear the distant echo of their quiet breathing, their peaceful slumber under the watchful moon. Thousands upon thousands of years passed, marked only by the changing seasons, the growth of forests, and the slow carving of rivers. The ice ages came and went, vast sheets of white creeping across the land, then retreating, leaving behind new landscapes. Our ancestors adapted, their resilience a quiet strength. They learned to make warm coverings from animal hides, to build more substantial shelters, to master fire not just for warmth, but for cooking, transforming tough meat into nourishing meals. Imagine them huddled together in caves, the flickering light illuminating ancient paintings on the walls, images of animals, of hunts, of the world they knew. These were the first stories, told not with words, but with silent, colorful strokes. A way to remember, to share, to connect across generations. The silence of the cave, broken only by soft snores and the gentle shifting of bodies, was a sanctuary against the vastness of the world outside. Then came another great shift, as gradual as the melting of ice. The land began to warm, the animals changed their paths, and a new idea began to take root in the human mind. Instead of always following, what if they could encourage? What if they could plant seeds, and wait for them to grow? This was the beginning of agriculture, a profound, slow revolution. Picture the first farmers, bending over the soil, patiently placing tiny seeds into the earth. The rhythm of planting, tending, and harvesting became the new heartbeat of human life. With farming came settlements. Small huts grew into villages, then into clusters of homes. No longer constantly moving, people began to build, to weave, to craft more intricate tools. The sounds of daily life changed, the soft rustle of grain, the distant lowing of domesticated animals, the quiet murmur of conversations as families worked side by side. Life became more settled, but no less connected to the earth. The sun still dictated the day, the moon the night. The stars still wheeled overhead, silent witnesses to the slow unfolding of human endeavor. Generations lived and died in the same place, their lives interwoven with the land they tilled. There was a deep, comforting sense of belonging, of roots growing deep into the soil. As villages grew, so did the need for organization. People began to specialize. Some became potters, shaping clay into useful vessels. Others became weavers, turning fibers into cloth. Still others became builders, raising structures that would stand for centuries. The first towns emerged, then the first cities, rising slowly from the earth like ancient, sleeping giants. Imagine the quiet bustle of an early city at dawn, the first fires being lit, the smell of wood smoke mingling with the scent of baking bread. The soft sounds of awakening, a distant call, the creak of a cart, the gentle murmur of voices. These cities were centers of exchange, of ideas, of shared knowledge. Here, the first forms of writing emerged, symbols etched into clay tablets, recording harvests, laws, and stories. A way to capture thoughts, to make them last beyond a single breath. The great rivers became arteries of civilization, carrying boats laden with goods, connecting distant communities. Along their banks, empires rose and fell, not with sudden crashes, but with the slow, inevitable shifting of power, like the erosion of riverbanks over millennia. Think of the pyramids, standing silent and vast under the desert sun, monuments to an ancient past, their stones whispering tales of long-forgotten dreams. Or the great walls, stretching across landscapes, silent guardians of ancient borders. These structures, built by countless hands over countless years, remind us of the enduring human capacity to build, to create, to leave a mark. Through the classical ages, ideas flowed like gentle streams, connecting minds across continents. Philosophy, art, science, these were not sudden explosions, but quiet, persistent inquiries into the nature of existence. Imagine scholars poring over scrolls in dimly lit libraries, their minds alight with discovery, the only sound the rustle of parchment and the soft turning of pages. The pursuit of knowledge, a quiet, endless quest. The world was vast, and travel was slow. Journeys took months, even years, by foot, by horse, by sailing ship. Imagine the quiet solitude of a long voyage, the endless expanse of the ocean, the rhythmic creak of the ship, the stars as the only compass. These were times of patience, of deep contemplation, of living intimately with the elements. Then came a period of quiet consolidation, often called the Middle Ages. Life for most was tied to the land, to the rhythm of the seasons, to the community of the village. The church bells marked the hours, the sun marked the days, and the generations marked the years. There was a comforting predictability to life, a deep connection to the cycles of nature. Imagine the soft glow of candlelight in a medieval home, the gentle murmur of prayers, the quiet preparations for sleep. But even in these quiet times, the human spirit of curiosity never truly slept. New ideas stirred, like seeds beneath the winter snow. The Renaissance brought a gentle reawakening, a renewed interest in art, science, and the human form. Exploration began to expand the known world, not with a rush, but with slow, deliberate voyages of discovery. Imagine the quiet thrill of seeing a new horizon, of charting unknown waters, of finding new lands. The printing press, a quiet revolution, began to spread words and ideas further and faster than ever before. Books, once rare treasures, became more accessible, their pages filled with stories, knowledge, and dreams. Imagine the soft rustle of paper, the quiet turning of pages, as knowledge began to spread like a gentle, pervasive mist. The Age of Enlightenment brought a quiet emphasis on reason and individual thought. Revolutions, though sometimes turbulent, were often born from quiet discussions, from new ways of seeing the world. The shift was not always easy, but it was a continuous movement towards greater understanding, greater freedom. Then came the Industrial Revolution, a new hum in the air. Machines began to whir and clatter, transforming the way things were made, the way people lived. Cities grew rapidly, drawing people from the countryside. It was a time of great change, sometimes noisy, sometimes challenging, but always a testament to human ingenuity and adaptability. Imagine the rhythmic thrum of a factory, the distant whistle of a train, new sounds in the ancient landscape. Yet, even amidst the new noises, there was the quiet determination of people building new lives, adapting to new rhythms. The 20th century brought an acceleration of change, a dizzying pace compared to the slow march of previous millennia. Airplanes soared through the sky, radios brought voices from distant lands into homes, and televisions brought images. Computers began to hum, quietly at first, then with increasing power, connecting people across the globe. Despite the speed, the underlying human story remained the same: the search for connection, for meaning, for a place in the vastness of existence. Wars, though devastating, were always followed by periods of rebuilding, of reconciliation, of the quiet, persistent hope for peace. And now, here we are, in the present moment. The world is interconnected, a tapestry of cultures, ideas, and experiences. Information flows at the speed of light, and the world feels smaller, yet still full of wonder. We carry within us the echoes of all those who came before, the quiet patience of the first toolmakers, the deep connection to the earth of the first farmers, the boundless curiosity of the explorers, the quiet resilience of all generations. Our journey through history has been long, but it has been a gentle one, marked by growth, adaptation, and the enduring spirit of humanity. We have seen the slow dawn of consciousness, the quiet hum of community, the patient unfolding of knowledge. Now, as this story draws to a close, let the echoes of the past settle gently around you. Feel the quiet continuity of time, the endless cycle of day and night, of waking and sleeping. You are a part of this vast, incredible story, a tiny, precious link in an unbroken chain stretching back to the very beginning. Let your breath be soft and even. Let your mind release the thoughts of the day, like leaves drifting down a quiet stream. The journey of humanity continues, but for now, your journey is to rest. To surrender to the gentle pull of sleep, knowing that you are held within the vast, comforting embrace of time. May your dreams be peaceful, and your slumber deep. Good night.